I'm gay. Okay, there are 3 levels to this AI-ish. Level 1 is AI, aka artificial intelligence. That takes us then to level 2, right? Level 2 is RI, aka real intelligence. And that takes us to level 3, AI, aka acid intelligence. Okay, so everybody's familiar with the single agent paradigm. I'm guessing you have used ChatGPT. You have played around with perhaps Claude. You have perhaps played around with Gemini and several other similar tools. There's this other domain of agentic exploration known as multi-agent architecture, right? If you look at this, right, and are confused, that's exactly how I felt for over the past year. But I finally thought of an idea of how to apply this multi-agent architecture pattern, the supervisor architecture pattern as it's labeled on this chart, which I believe is from LangChain. Anyhow, what we're going to do now is give a demonstration of this supervisor multi-agent architecture. And I hope you have fun. I hope you enjoy it. Let's go. Here is the use case that we are going to run with. If you're like me, you're a fan of history. I am a fan of these individuals, and I thought it would be cool if I could build some sort of simulated environment that allows me to chat with them on various topics. So we built a multi-agent architecture that enables a user like myself to have a moderated discussion with one or more of these historical figures. Let's take a look at what the architecture diagram looks like right here. If you have any questions, leave a comment. Now let's jump into the demo. Just so that you know this is not staged, we are going to be incorporating the use of spin the wheel into this demonstration. Here you can see we have 2 spin the wheels, right? On this first wheel, we have all of the agents that I've prepared on this platform that goes by the name of Caligo. By the way, if you're confused about what an agent is, it really is nothing more than a prompt at the end of the day, along with a couple of other pieces of metadata. For example, if you take a closer look at this Thomas Jefferson agent, you can see all of the components that comprise it, right? So in the context of the AI agents we're demonstrating inside of this video, each agent is going to have a name, right? AKA Thomas Jefferson. Each agent is also going to have a description that gives some more context about what the agent is or its persona, etc. Here we're calling that the system prompt, but you can think of this as the agent description. The other thing you have to provide is what LLM or model is going to act as the brain of this agent. Here you can see we're using GPT 5.4 from OpenAI. It's the latest and greatest model as of the time of recording. And FYI, we're going to be using this specific model across the board of this supervisor multi-agent swarm architecture demonstration. And the only other important thing to note is how we've also associated a voice ID in 11 labs, right? So this is going to allow us to anthropomorphize this Thomas Jefferson agent. I don't know what Thomas Jefferson sounded like, so I just went to the voice library in 11 labs and tried to find a voice that in my mind sounds kind of like him. And I did that for all of the other agents in the platform, right? In the Caligo platform. So if we come back over here, let's run this demo, right? So let's randomly select one of these agents. Fire. All right, so we got Buddha. And let's throw one other historical figure into this group chat. We got Isaac Newton. Okay, so here we go. What's up, guys? Say hello.
Hello. May you be well and at ease.
Good day to you. I am pleased to make your acquaintance.
Cool, right? So now let's use that second wheel to have them answer on a little bit more of an interesting prompt. What do the powerful owe the weak? Can you both comment on this question?
The strong should use their strength with compassion and restraint. Power is unstable. Those who cling to it cause suffering for themselves and others. What is owed is protection without domination, generosity without pride, and justice guided by wisdom.
Notice how Isaac Newton didn't comment. Isaac, what are your thoughts on this question?
Power without moral rule is but refined violence. The powerful owe the weak justice first, then protection, and finally the means by which they may cease to be weak. Authority is justified only insofar as it serves the common good, not private appetite.
I will not speak for another. My view is this: those with power should protect, not exploit, uplift, not bind. When strength serves only itself, it becomes a cause of suffering.
The powerful owe the weak justice before charity. They must not prey upon them, nor bend law and custom merely to preserve advantage. If they possess authority, it is a trust, and they are bound to use it for protection, fair dealing, and the common good. I would add this: the best use of power is not to keep others dependent, but to establish conditions in which they may stand more securely on their own. Power is least offensive when it is most accountable.
I cannot answer for Newton. My own view: the powerful owe the weak non-harm, protection, fairness, and generosity. Better still, they should use power so that fewer beings remain weak, and no one is despised for their vulnerability.
They owe them justice above all, not pity alone, nor alms given for show, but laws fairly applied, protection from injury, and restraint in the use of power. If power is a trust, then it must serve the common good. Its highest use is not to keep men dependent, but to help establish conditions in which they may stand with greater security and dignity.
Not bad, right? A little bit awkward at times, but anyhow, let's add another historical figure into this just for fun. Jesus. Okay, and let's get another topic. Nice. Everybody likes drama, right? Question for each of the three of you.
I do not answer by feeding contempt for those before me. If there is fault in any person, let it be met with truth, mercy, and repentance rather than spite. As for me, I call you to love even those you find hardest to bear. What is needed here is honesty without cruelty.
I do not keep company with dislike. Aversion is a fire that burns the one who carries it. If there is harm, it should be understood clearly and answered with wisdom, not hatred.
I do not see profit in naming a person here as most disliked. Disagreement may be sharp, but contempt is a poor instrument of judgment. Better to examine conduct and principles than indulge personal animus.
I do not answer by naming one to despise. If there is wrong in any of us, speak of the wrong plainly, and let it be corrected in truth and charity. Love your neighbor, and do not make sport of contempt.
I do not choose a person here to dislike. Ill will clouds the mind and gives rise to more suffering. If there is unwholesome speech or conduct, better to see it clearly and let it go than to nourish aversion.
Nice. So here you can see the supervisor pattern in action. So pretty much we will prompt the multi-agent swarm, right? Or a group of agents. Our prompt will be fed to a moderator who will decide which of the agents in the swarm should respond to our prompt, given the context of the chat history. Each agent will return their response back to the moderator. And the moderator, based on the response of the agent, will decide if another agent should be passed the baton, so to speak, to respond next, or you can see that the moderator can also make the decision to not pass the baton, right? Which means that the, I guess, baton gets handed back to the user, aka me in this scenario. So hopefully this expanded your brain. You can let this marinate. Maybe there's some other use cases for this. I find this to be quite experimental, this domain of agentic exploration, but you never know where this might lead to, right? Peace.